Hello, BWHA38 here. I am continuing to work with this General Electric Mls-II radio. I've programmed in some 2-meter frequencies, which are really outside of the band split of this radio. Occasionally, you need to do some VCO adjustment in order for the radio to actually transmit on those frequencies. The one way you'll know if you need some VCO adjustment is if you plug your microphone in and begin to try to transmit, and the radio will blink the channel numbers at you, and you'll not get anything out of the radio. Basically, it's telling you that the VCO was not in lock, and you need to do some adjustment. In order to get to the VCO adjustment, there are 2 screws on the back of the radio near the top. They're in the cooling fins of the back. You just loosen those slightly. You do not have to remove them all the way. And pop the top up and then off. With the top removed, and I've turned the radio around so that the front is facing me, the VCO area is over here at the right. And there are holes cut in where you can put a screwdriver down in and do some adjustment to the potentiometers that are just below. It's a good idea to turn the radio off at this point. If you want to do this with the radio turned on, I suggest using an insulated screwdriver in case you touch the edges of the VCO cover. This middle hole for this high band split radio shows the potentiometer just below it to do the adjustment for the transmit VCO. If you have a UHF radio, it's the same location, and it's the same location for the 800 megahertz radio as well. The potentiometer has a little screw head, and what you would do is put your screwdriver down in there and turn counterclockwise just ever so slightly, probably not even a 1/16 of a turn at first. And then plug your radio in, try it, and see if all of your frequencies will lock. If some will and some won't, you need to make a little more adjustment to the left. Certainly do not turn the screw potentiometer any more than a quarter turn in its entirety. The other hole at the bottom is the receive side of the VCO, and it also may need to be turned a little more counterclockwise to allow to receive those frequencies. You're narrowing up the band split when you do this also. Don't expect to put 2-meter frequencies into this radio and also a 170 megahertz frequency. It's just too wide. You might get by putting a weather frequency in, like 162.525, something like that, but you're not going to transmit on that one. You're just going to receive. You might get by with doing that, but essentially you need to just adjust the VCO down a little bit so that it can lock onto the 2-meter frequencies that you've put in the radio. Once you've transmitted successfully on all of your frequencies, you can just leave the radio VCO like it is and replace the top cover. I hope you found this video helpful. This is BWHA38 wishing you happy radio programming.